oh, my 1-year-old, my best friend. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't think your 1-year-old know that.
Yeah, like you should have other best friends. Like that's cute, you know. A
Maybe
close enough to be close, but like that don't put that on that child.
you feel me?
Like
They don't even know what they're getting themselves into.
right.
But anywho, thank you for tuning in to DBYT Podcast. I'm Taisha, and today we are going to be talking about embracing the present with Anaya.
Hey y'all.
So she is a first timer on our show. So tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Again, like Taisha said, I'm Anaya. I'm 25. I was pretty much raised in Covington. I'm originally from California. I have a bachelor's degree in political science from Kennesaw, and I currently work for a law firm while also learning sign language and helping to run a nonprofit as well. So, pretty busy. Hands are full.
Now, can you tell us about the organization that you are in?
Yes. So I am a part of the Safe Place for Our Tribe, also known as the SPOT for short. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization that essentially just wants to cultivate safe places for Black people. It was founded by some of my friends now, but originally I hadn't known them yet, so it's a beautiful thing. But it was founded by them for Black women back at Brunel, which is an all-girls university. And so basically they couldn't or didn't have that safe space for them at their school, and they needed to create it. And so that's where the Safe Place for Our Tribe came from. And so now we throw annual events like Own Your Crown, like our Black Ass Cookout that was just last weekend, and then like Sex and Self-Care. So we essentially just want to create places that are safe for people of Black people that look any kind of way, identify any kind of way, creating that just safe space for us to talk and be ourselves. And so that's mostly what it is. As far as the org, I am the community engagement coordinator. So
okay. So I
Yes.
know a couple months ago I seen a dating auction. Was that your first time doing something like
yes.
that?
Yes, it definitely was. That was I was real nervous. But for the funds, I was willing to do it.
Okay. So was that a living in the moment type of moment?
Yes, that's definitely what it was. My friends, my team, they were like, "Nah, you got to do it." They be swiping up, they be asking about you. I know it's men in your DMs. Like they gonna pay. They gonna pay if they think they can go on a date. And so I was like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna take one for the team.
Right.
It's definitely not my comfort zone, but I mean that's what it's about, especially. And we happened to raise, I think, about $1,000 that day almost. Yeah, so it was great. It definitely worked out. It was fun too. I'll say that it was fun. We did it at something special here in Conyers, so that was nice too because a lot of our events are usually in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But to do something on this side of town and still have a good turnout, it was genuinely a good
cool.
time. Yeah.
Okay. So just to give people a baseline, what does living in the moment mean and what does it look like?
Okay. I think living in the moment is, for me, it means doing whatever it is that you want to do and not setting any boundaries for yourself. I think that I speak to that when I say, if it's something that you thought about doing when you were 15 and you hadn't really thought about it again until you're 25, do it. Try it.
Yeah.
I'm very big on, if you don't try something, I would hate to regret later. You know,
Okay.
like I would hate to think about it later, like, dang, I always said I wanted to do this and I never tried it. And that's kind of like how sign language came up for me. I've been saying that since high school, and then I just let it go. I went to college, I let go of the idea, and then, you know what, I sat around and I was like, hold on, like I can work that into my schedule because it's something I want to do.
Right.
So I just think that's the big thing with living in the moment for me. I think it's also having boundaries, but also being willing to push them and get out of your comfort zone.
Okay.
Even when it comes to something like this, for me, this is something that I wouldn't necessarily sign up to do. But when you asked, I was like, I told you that, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous about it. I don't know, but it's something that I'm willing to do, and this will be my first time being able to say, hey, I was on a podcast. Like,
Right.
you know, so yeah, like, so I'm excited. Like, you know, that's what this, literally what living in the moment is about. This is a great example. And so that's just it for me. Step outside your comfort zone, because you never know what you may find there.
So mostly what you're saying, like the crucial part of all of that is living with no regrets. And I think, honestly, people sometimes operate in fear. Oh my God. Why they come?
Even not one bug.
Had me shut up, like, had me stuttering. What are we doing? Anyways,
Yes.
because that's embarrassing. Why would they do that? I think not doing like living in fear and letting it control you as much as we oftentimes do is a great thing. Just because like we only will slick remember this lifetime, even if like you like believe in like reincarnation, right? You have multiple lives and you've been through all that, but we don't remember that once we get to the next one. So it's like it's important to just like leave your legacy and do what you can in the moment, you know?
Yeah.
So why do you think it's like important to cultivate like your happiness and make your life fulfilled?
It's important to cultivate your happiness, be fulfilled, because if you don't, who will?
Okay.
So that's the first thing. I'm a loner by heart. I love my friends and I love my people, but in my heart, I know I'm a loner. There's nothing in this world that I won't go do by myself. And I think that is one thing that has allowed me to be happy. That's one of those things, because you can't let anybody stop. The only thing I did yet was a solo trip, but we gonna talk about that. I want to go on a vacation alone just one time. But outside of yeah,
we're gonna get to it. Get to it.
But I certainly would just say that it's important to do the things that make you happy. I think a lot of times when we think about trying new things, we always think about like how somebody else is gonna feel, or what somebody else is gonna say, or how you're gonna look to somebody else. And I just am a big person where do what it is that you want to do. We only have one life here to live, like, and time is literally passing us by. Like, I don't know about anybody else, but for us to already be in June is crazy. I feel like we just celebrated New Year's. Like,
the fact that the earth is literally spinning faster, like that should tell you that time is ticking.
Yes, like it really is. And so that's just, I don't know, you have to, life is short. We unfortunately in our generation have seen the loss of some of our friends and just community, and people losing their lives so young and still not getting to do all the things that they want to do. And I think that's something that certainly opened my eyes to, like, take advantage of this lifetime, because you never really know when you know your time may come. And I don't ever want to be someone that dies with any regrets. Like, I want to be able to say I tried everything and I did what made me happy, and I'm standing in that.
Okay, 10 toes.
Yeah.
So what is something that you haven't done yet that you, well, you said your solo trip. Where do you want to go?
Solo trip, I want to go to Greece, but that's a little far for a solo trip, I think.
Okay.
That's whole new, everything.
Territory.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little nervous about that, but I would like to start small. Like, I love Nashville. I've only been like twice, and I love going. I went both times were on like group trips. One with my school and then one with like some friends, but it still was a big group trip. And so I really want to go back. It's so fun. I love barbecue and their food is good.
I've never been to Tennessee.
Yes, I want to go to their aquarium. I just feel like it's right there. It's only a couple hours away. Like, that is a place where I really want to try like a solo trip and, just explore. They have a lot of like nice bridges, and they have Ruby Falls isn't far, and that's like a cave. I've been there and stuff, so I would like to go back and do that. I did zip lining and stuff there. Yeah, so that's a place that I want to go. And then I think I want to visit New York. I feel like I could do New York alone, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like I could. All the safety measures, I would stay somewhere like busy where, like ain't nobody following me to no Airbnb or nothing. I'd probably stay in a hotel, make sure it's cameras and things like that. And of course, people have my location. I'll be in contact. But I think I could do New York too. That's just not in the winter. But
she said it's too cold, and I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't want nowhere that got inches of snow. That's not my vibe.
I almost don't want to be out here. I mean, I'm personally a fall girl.
Yeah,
I can if I want to wear shorts, I can wear shorts. If I want to throw a sweater on, boom, little cardigan. Medium. You feel me?
Yes, I do not like that. I don't like extreme temperatures, I guess. That's it. I don't like when it's too cold, and then I don't like when it's too hot. So I guess that's it. But yeah, those are the two places I would want to go.
So the things that you want to get done, how do you make sure that they get done?
I will say I I won't lie, I came from being a bad procrastinator in college.
Okay.
And I had to learn from that. To get my degree and to learn my lessons there, I had to do better. And I think a big thing for me is I have to write it down, even if that's 3 or 4 times. You gotta write it down. Like, and I'm someone that's forgetful too. So it's like on top of that, no, write down the steps, write down. I'm one of those that got a book of all my passwords because I forget. Like, I'm a little old lady. So I write all of that down to make sure I don't forget. But I think also is just vision boards help me, and so I started making them digitally.
Yeah.
And I think that was cool. At first I was like, no, I need to put it down, like let me put it down on a poster.
Yeah.
But no, I started making them digitally because it allows for things to change, you know, a lot easier. Like, maybe I tried something that was on my vision board at the top of the year that at the end of the year I realized isn't for me, or that I don't enjoy or something. So it allows time for it to change. And then I would also say it out loud. Speak to it. Have conversations like this with your friends, with your mom, whoever that person is or those people are. Have conversations, because if they're the right people, they'll hold you accountable for it. As a week or a couple weeks or a month or two go by, they'll start to say, okay, you mentioned so and so, what's going on with that, you know? And I'm grateful for my parents and my tribe and my family, because they hold me to everything that, you know, I want to do, because I'm capable. And they continue to remind me of that. Like, you can do it. You know what you need to do day by day. Even if it's something you work on, you only got 30 minutes a day, okay, put your best foot forward. And working on whatever that goal or goals are for you, you know. So I think that's the big thing, is group, write it down, and visualize.
And all that takes discipline, because everybody can talk about it and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you don't put any action in it, it's really kind of pointless, you know?
Yeah.
So I respect that. I respect that.
Yes.
And speaking of the digital ones, I do the same thing, and I make them like my wallpaper and stuff. And me and my friends, we might do it like on Canva or something.
Yeah.
And just be like, oh, I see you making changes.
Yeah, exactly. and even if you don't want to like go as far as Canva, or that may seem like a lot, you do it on Instagram.
Yeah.
You can literally click create on Instagram, and you know, we can turn ourselves into stickers. We can turn all kind of things into stickers now, like if you have iPhones and stuff, and just create all your photos in one thing, mix it around on Instagram and save it. Post it on your Instagram, you know, like, even if that is, you know, if that's something for you that you may want or need to see every day. I know some people are better with that. So I kind of, like I said, I procrastinate, and I will sometimes get overwhelmed and lay down. And that will be, but you can't stay in that moment. So you just got to keep those. If I write it down, I'm going to always see it on my whiteboard. If it's on my phone as a vision board, I'm going to always see it. So that will kind of, you know, check me too. Like, hold on, girl, you got stuff to do. Like,
yeah. No, seriously. It's a app called To Do. It's Microsoft based. I keep it on my phone, keep it on my computer. I keep that there, and then I do write on my whiteboard. I write in my journal. It's a journal app now on iPhone.
Yeah, everything.
It does keep you accountable and keep you be like kind of motivated in a sense.
And everybody got a phone, and everybody always on them. So I'm not saying don't have fun, because I can play my little games and do my little, you know, everybody got social media, get on Twitter. I'm not saying don't do any of those things, but also just, it's a tool at our hands too.
Yeah.
So use it for that, and they expensive.
I just about to say, you pay so much money for it.
Use it for all you can get it for, especially them free apps and free things. Yes, use it all.
Now, I know we talked about regret earlier, but do you sometimes find yourself dwelling on the past of things that you wanted to do maybe as a younger woman?
Definitely. This is something I was just talking to one of my friends about too. I actually, when I was younger, I wanted to be a gymnast. Like, that was my goal.
Yeah.
And while it was more so a family thing that kind of got in the way, and things like financials and things like that got in the way, it was still something that I probably could have tried harder once I came to middle school. Like, it wouldn't have been too late for me to try to do that. So it's certain goals like that. I think there's also, like, even me with sign language, I just started this year when I could have been started. You know, I've always, once I discovered that UGA had the program, I could have started then, and you know, I didn't, just do the work and still being in school and everything like that. So there are definitely some that I regret for the most part, because I'm still working on things and actively keeping those goals at the forefront. Most of it just is me procrastinating with the goals.
Okay.
So that's like, I'm now applying to go to law school and getting excited about that. That's something that originally I was like, I'm gonna do as soon as I. Thank you. Something that I originally was like, okay, well, as soon as I finish school, I'm gonna go back to school, and then I reevaluated that goal, and I said, you know what, I need a break.
Yeah.
Like, I need a break, and I have to be honest. Let me just take a breather, but I gotta go. And so that was something that remained for the 3 years now since graduation. That remained at the front. Like, you have to go.
You're going back.
Yeah, you have to at least try it. If I get to law school and it's not for me, okay, I'll bite that bullet and pivot there. But again, I'm not gonna not try and not see if it is something that's for me, because then that's what I'll be thinking about for the next 20, 30, 40 years. Like, why didn't I try? Why didn't I give myself that shot? So for the most part, I think I pretty much do everything. I want to go skydiving.
Okay, man, I was going to ask you about that earlier. I was like, she already said she went ziplining. Do you want to go skydiving?
Yeah, I want to go skydiving. I tried to go for my 16th birthday, but you had to have a guardian sign off, and my mama was not going for that. She was like, it's absolutely no, ma'am. My sister was in the Navy at the time, and so she was going to be my chaperone and jump with me. And my dad he doesn't care. He's the daredevil in me. That's certainly where I get it from. My mom is the let's keep all feet on ground.
Let's keep it safe.
So she was not having it, but that's definitely something I need to get done. Yeah.
Me and my friend Danielle was gonna go. We went to Jacksonville last year, and we had planned out our whole thing to a T, right? So we're checking the weather like maybe days before, because we're like, oh, we don't want to pay for it and it rains or something, or it's thundering, and so we get to the nitty-gritty of it all, and we like, yeah, we going down there, so we trying to book online. We like, dang, why we can't book? We call the people, they talking about something, oh, you had to book a week in advance. I was like, why that's not on y'all website? Because
why would you not say that?
We were so ready, so it was like, dang.
And that's one of those things that's easy to like talk yourself out of.
Yes.
So for y'all to get worked up and be like, okay, we gonna do it, we gonna go, like, and you just snatched it from
snatched the rug right under our feet. I was like, man, because that was gonna be my first time on a plane. I never been on a plane before. The first time I was getting on one, I was gonna be jumping out of it.
Yeah, that would have been I ain't gonna say would have been. Look, because you can still do it.
Yeah, because I still ain't been on a plane.
If you ain't been on no plane, you can still do it. Definitely do it. No, I love flying. That's great. I've been wanting to go skydiving. I'm a little more nervous about it, though, oddly enough. Like, when I was 16, I ain't have no nerves. I was just like, whatever, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Like, no big deal. But I think the older I get, I'm kind of like, should I really be doing that? But it's definitely something that I'm like, no, I have to do it.
Right.
It's like anything else. Like, I've bungee jumped, I did zip lining, I've did all kind of things. So I'm like, skydiving really is the last step that I need to do.
I have not done any of those. I be wanting to. As you can see, I was trying to, but they stopped my shine. So I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's explore any common obstacles for living in the moment. What are some common things that people let get in their way?
I kind of mentioned it a little earlier, but certainly the opinions of others. Even like with my mom, like, love my mama to death. That's my best friend, but I'm not gonna let her fear stop me from doing what I want to do. If it's reasonable, I'll listen to it, and then you assess the situation. Of course, I could get why she probably doesn't want her baby to be jumping off a plane. You know what I'm saying? Like, I completely understand that. But in the back of my mind, it's ultimately like, well, I'm gonna pray about it, as she would tell me to do. I'm gonna pray about it and hope for the best, do everything I'm supposed to do. So I think that's certainly an obstacle. I think the other obstacle is self-doubt.
Okay.
And I think that a lot of that comes from social media now. A lot of people show the good and not really the bad or the failures. And so a lot of people are comparing themselves. And as people say all the time, comparison is a thief of joy. So you certainly have to own lane, own pace, own race. So that's something that I definitely stick to. I know Nipsey has a few like videos. That's someone that I listen to talk and speak on Instagram often, like his old videos and things. But that's something that I would definitely say is a big reason why people don't stay the course on living in the moment, because they are nervous about what other people are going to say or what other people are going to think, and then they doubt themselves. Once you get to thinking about what somebody else is going to say about you, then you start to wonder if you're capable, because somebody else may not think you can, or somebody else may not think it's a good idea for you. So I think that's certainly one. Trying to think of another obstacle for people living in the moment. I would also say too much planning. Like, it's just too much planning. Sometimes you just have to do.
My mom tells me that, because I am a person, if you look at my calendar, you're gonna be like, you're insane.
Yeah.
Why is everything color coded? Why everything's broken down to the time to the. I don't know. It's like with that, I'm not even no. If I don't, I feel like I don't have to do it. But if I put it down, it's like it coincides with like my vision boards and stuff because I break my vision boards down. And maybe it's a lot, but I just be like, I need to know, like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah.
Just so I don't, like, I guess get distracted.
And I was about to say, that sounds like a good system, though, of checks and balances for you.
Yeah.
You know, like, it helps keep you in check. Like, no, if I put it in my calendar, it has to get done because it's in my calendar.
Yeah, because
like,
they reminded me.
Yeah.
They reminded me the day before, 5 hours and an hour.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. And I am the opposite.
Yeah.
And I wish I could be like that. I wish and I wish and I wish. I'm that girl who will buy those planners at the beginning of the year, and that planner will sit on my desk until October. And it would just sit there, untouched.
See,
and that's what, like, and I'm that person, and I'm like, and I'm good about like not double booking and things like that.
Okay.
But for the most part, I'm also very much so live in the moment. I am that person where I may be trying to make it to 3 events in the same day, and if it's up to me, I want to go to them all. Yeah,
I got 30 minutes.
Yeah, I can make that. I said I was gonna be there, so I'm gonna stop by and see my friend, or I'm gonna see this person, or my nephew, or family. You know, like anything. So I think that's definitely that's one of those things that I will say though. If that is effective for you, then plan for adventure.
Cause girl, I need to know.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Gonna be at?
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I'm that person. I'm that friend, and my friends know. You call me today and be like, "Hey, you want to ride out here to go get some food, or go pick up a puppy, or go do something like that?" If I don't have nothing else to do, oh sure, come on, like I'll ride. Like I'm that person. I'm quick to. Like I was just telling my friends earlier, I want to plan a cruise, and I'm like, yeah, we can go ahead and do that. Like next weekend, let's just plan a cruise one of these weekends. Like, it don't take too much planning. Like, you know, once we book the cruise, we'll figure out how we'll get to the port after. Like, we'll figure that out after. So I think that is, and not necessarily all the time, but just you can work it too into your structure. You know, my dad is that same way where he's like, no, I got to write it down, and it needs to make sense, and I need to know what I'm doing day by day. Otherwise, I'm gonna forget, or it's not gonna get done. And I am just like, you know, just work it in.
Go
even
with
if
the flow.
go with the flow a little bit, or even if it's like once a month, I'm gonna do something different this month. Even if that is go eat somewhere new, or come out here and fish.
Right.
You know, like whatever different looks like.
Okay.
I want to.
It's so many people that's been like my friends. They want to like form a fishing group, and I'm like, y'all, I have never done this before. Like, I don't know the first thing about it.
I've been before. Like my uncle fishes. Yes, fishes. I thought about that. Like, wait,
yeah, he fish.
Yeah. Something. Yeah, but he does, and the guy that I'm dating, he does. Like, and I'm like, it seems so peaceful now.
Right.
Probably 10 years ago, I would have been like snooze fest. But like now, it definitely seems peaceful being out here and kind of just floating on the water, whether you catch something or not. I definitely see why people make it a thing.
Yeah.
Like,
man, it like just thinking about how you are versus me. It's like I do want to try, because I know my mom. She always tell me like, girl. You got to do everything. You got to remind yourself every time. And I'm like, Mom, I don't know how to function without it.
Yeah.
Because I've been telling her, I was like, man, you want me to tell you why my life is in shambles? Because I don't have a planner. I didn't get a planner this year, Mom. And she's like, oh, you so dramatic.
Yeah, no. I aspire to get a little bit of that in me, because I'm like, I'm quick. Like, I literally put up a whiteboard in my room probably about a year ago to make it a point to write things down so that I could visually see and remember things, because I'm like, the planner thing ain't gonna work, because I'm liable to leave the house without it.
Once you close that book.
Yeah, and get to planning things, and then I don't have no planner, then I don't have. So I'm starting to get into the habit of doing that, especially with me having so much going on now. I'm like, okay, I do need to actually plan. I do actually need to write this stuff down so I don't, get lost in the sauce per se. But I definitely am always gonna be an adventurous spirit. It's always been who I am. It's just to have fun, and shoot, if I ain't gonna say there's not anything I wouldn't try once, because there are a couple things I'm not trying.
I know, I feel that.
Yeah, no, there's a couple things I'm not trying, but for the most part, when it comes to adventure, the zip lining, the bungee jumping, the whatever,
whitewater rafting.
Yeah, like whitewater rafting. I did that too.
See, look.
All of those things. Yeah, like all of those things. I'm like, no. When it comes to adventures, I love roller coasters. I love water slides. Like, I am all for adventure, and just trying new stuff. I'm not scared of heights, so I don't have that same, like,
Yeah.
anxiousness that comes when it's time to do stuff like that. So for me, it's always like, I'm excited. Like, I'm looking forward to the
I'm
jump
not
or the
scared of
thrill
heights.
or the, my stomach dropping. A lot of people don't like that on roller coasters. That's my
So
favorite
you
part.
you in the
Like,
front. You in the front. Okay,
yeah,
cause me.
I'm
Yeah.
that person. So see, you got it in you. It's there. You just gotta explore it.
Yeah, I just as long, like, if I know we going to do this, I'm cool. We
Yeah.
can figure it out when we get there. But where are we going? I
Yeah.
think that's my
Okay.
biggest thing is like knowing, like, I don't like sitting around because everybody. This is my friend group. So what y'all want to do? I don't know what you want to do. And then we sit around for hours not doing anything because nobody damn knows.
No, and that's why I will say TikTok is great for a lot of things, and that's one of them. You want something random to do, TikTok will have it. It don't matter where you at. You can be in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of trees and forests, and you will look up that city on TikTok,
Literally.
and they will have 5 activities for you to do. Like, that is one of the best things. I love to find new experiences, karaoke, anything like that. Like, I'm all about having fun. I handle my business and all of that, but that consumes so much of your life.
Yeah.
So like, for me, I'm like, no, I need to decompress. I'm a nanny as well, so I have a
Look at you, jack of all trades.
Yeah, a little bit. So I'm like, I have a very kid-like spirit.
Okay.
I can be an adult, but it's like, for the most part, I like to explore things like a kid. When we think about kids, they do whatever makes their soul
Whatever
happy.
come to mind.
Yeah, like whatever make their soul happy. That you give a kid an empty box,
Girl.
and they gonna play with that box for 3 hours like it's the best box in the world. And that's what I aspire, I guess, to live like whatever joy looks like to me,
Yeah.
whatever happiness looks like to me. I want to do exactly what a kid would do and take full advantage and have fun. So that's definitely something I pride myself on doing, for sure. It's definitely staying in that spirit of just living like a kid and being like, no, I can handle my business and go to work all week and do all that, but like, okay, when Friday come or Saturday come, what we doing after this? Can we do something fun? Like, can we do, whether that's an activity, like I said, we could go whitewater rafting, we could take a trip, we could go on a road trip out to wherever. Like, I'm one of those friends. I'm a multi-purpose friend, so to speak. So
it sounds like you have a very balanced work and play. So that's really good.
Yeah.
Now, for people who are worse than me, like, they just, are stuck in their nothingness. What strategies would you give them to overcome that and, like, to rid the distractions of what's stopping them from going out there?
So like I kind of said, I meant, as far as planning your adventures, that's definitely something that I would encourage. If you are a planner, it's okay to be a planner.
Yeah.
It's okay to be structured like that. But on the flip side of that, try maybe making a list of 50 things or places you want to go or
like
you want to try. Right,
yeah.
A random list, and then work them into your schedule.
Okay.
That in my head, I think that's probably the best. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking it has to work. But best of both worlds. Okay, I have a list of all these things I want to do or haven't done. Okay, if I have a free day on this Sunday, okay, I put karaoke at some new place.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do that on Sunday, and just put it into your schedule.
Okay.
That way it still happens, and then you're still not in the back of your mind like, hold on, wait, I didn't really schedule this, or this is not as structured as I wanted. Like, I think that's definitely something I would encourage. And I would also say, it's important who you keep around you too.
Okay.
But sometimes it is certainly okay to meet new people and meet new friends. Like, I'm someone who has 3 sisters, so I value sisterhood, whether that is biological or not. It's a bug.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I figured. But I value sisterhood, and I value what that looks like in relationships. I think right now in our generation, it's easy for us to lose a sense of community. We had, back in the day, people would all come together and do cookouts and hang out and block party, and you don't see that often no more. And so I just think that's something. Get around people who are adventurous. That one adventurous friend that you always might be like, oh, she may be doing too much. Like, oh, he be doing too much. Maybe that's the friend you need to plan to see a little more often.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get out of that bubble and you're trying to do a little bit more, I think that again just circles back to us getting out of your comfort zone.
Okay.
Like, you ain't never gonna find you're not gonna find what it is you're looking for doing the same thing every day.
That's a word.
Yeah,
that's a word. Not you for real though.
Yeah, so that's I guess the big thing that I would say do if you're struggling with that. Like I said, you got to have an interest, and there's something out there for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not saying karaoke is your thing. I'm not saying fishing is your thing.
But at least try it.
Yeah, but try it, and also if it's not for you, figure out what is.
Yeah.
If you real into game shows, there are places who host game nights or game show nights and things like that, or in your city. If and this is what I'm learning too, even working with my nonprofit, is if the space doesn't exist, then create it.
That part.
So
that part.
Yeah, that's the big thing too. If you want to have a SpongeBob themed game night, tell your friends to come to the house and dress up like SpongeBob and come with the games. And create that space. So it's ultimately about living in the moment, having fun. Like have fun with this life, because it's real easy, to get overwhelmed. It's real easy to think about inflation and what's going on in the world right now, and the economy we living in, and election, and it's real easy to let that stuff drown you. And so to me, it's important to stay grounded by doing the things that make you happy, the things that are unaffected by all of those things, feed your soul. So that's definitely a big piece for me, I would say.
When you said about making the random list,
mm-hmm.
so there was one time I was on TikTok and I was dating somebody,
mm-hmm.
and I sent him on TikTok and I was like, bro, look at this. So it had basically a deck of cards that you scratch off,
mm-hmm.
and whatever the card says,
mm-hmm.
that's what date you do.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is so cute, because you never know what's finna happen.
Never know. And that's just like I seen a couple on TikTok did the like alphabet date.
Yeah.
And they came up with a place for each letter of the alphabet, and that's what they had to go do, a place or a thing to do, sort of. And that's what they did. But it wasn't like in order, we're gonna go A, B, C, D. So you anticipate it, you rip up some sheets of paper, put all the alphabet, and then we pick out a letter one day.
Literally.
When it's date day, date night, whatever, we'll pick out a letter, and that'll be what determines what we do. And I think those are the things that keep things spontaneous. Like that's what we need more of.
Spontaneity, and people who actually gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
there's some people, they'll be like, oh, I don't have no money, and it's like, oh, you don't ever have no money.
You don't ever have no money to do this, but I see you got money to do something else. You got
That's
money
the
to
part.
do what you want to do, but you don't have money to go and do something else, or
Right.
do something adventure-y, or everybody got the money to do what it is they want to do.
Exactly. Just like it goes the same with people make time for what they want and
Mm-hmm.
all that good stuff. Like me and my friends, I just went to a Ocean Alley concert the other day.
Yeah.
I was listening to them folks. We were surrounded by a whole bunch of white folks.
Yeah.
But my friends was happy. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
was
so-
like,
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
enjoying the moment.
yeah. I was like, I mean, I've never gone to a concert like this.
Yeah.
I go see Chris Brown. I go
Yeah.
I go see people like that. Like, but I was like, it was a cool experience just to be
Yeah.
out there and just be like, wow, I've never been to Little Points,
Yeah.
whatever it was called, and we was at Variety Playhouse. I ain't never
Mhm.
been out there.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I really live down the street, so it just it opens up your palate to like new things and being like, you know what, I will try that again. I will go with you again.
Exactly. Then you never know. Like I said, you never know what you may like. Just like you said, you never know. You
Yeah.
might be like, maybe I do want to go back to that venue. Maybe I do need to come to Lil Five, like see what's going on.
I mean, I might need to.
Yeah.
Now, it was some concerning things I saw, but
Absolutely. It's Lil Five. That's Edgewood. Don't get yeah.
discuss the freedom and peace that comes along with releasing attachment to outcomes and embracing the moment as it unfolds. I was feeling poetic.
Yeah. No, for sure. I was like, I like that. That's a loaded question.
Thank you.
So I think that when it comes to releasing, for me, I guess
Yeah.
I would say, for me, when it's time to release and do those things and you're not thinking about what's going to happen after, it makes it all that more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like, I think that for me, this is the way I think about my fears. I don't have many fears, honestly. It's probably spiders and something crawling in my ear at night. Like, that's a real fear of mine. Like, that.
I am not laughing at you.
whatever, if there's a name for that, but like I have a real fear. Like I'm real like OCD slick about sleeping with my ears covered, because I have a real fear that I'm gonna sleep one day and I'm gonna wake up and then something's gonna be laid eggs in my ear or something. And yeah, I don't know. And it came from absolutely nowhere. Like
you didn't see it.
It's
nowhere?
Never happened to me. It's never like.
Oh man.
It's just one of and I don't know why.
It's okay.
But no, the way that I think about fears for me is we get in the car every day and nobody thinks anything of it. And I said car accidents kill hundreds of thousands of people every day.
Yeah.
Like, and I said we jump in the car every day and we do that, or we jump on a train or jump on a bus, or like we do these day-to-day things.
Yeah.
And we never think about the risks that are involved with them, because we got to go to work, or I got to go to the grocery store, or I got to do, like, you have it tied to what that outcome is. Like, okay, if I sit up here and let my fear eat me up to where I don't want to get in the car, I ain't never gonna go to work.
Right, you ain't never gonna go no.
Yeah.
Okay, two things.
Yeah.
One, have you ever been in an accident?
Yes.
Now, how was that experience after that? Were you ready to get back in cars?
I think so. I've actually been rear-ended about 3 or 4 times now.
Bless
been
your heart in your cars.
Right. I've been a passenger, I think, twice, and then I was T-boned before with my mom.
Yeah.
And it hit on my side, and then I've been rear-ended. So I think for me, I'm not saying that. Of course, people are gonna be anxious. Like, no denying that,
right.
certainly. But I think that we could let fear talk us out of anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you get consumed with it, I could have let fear talk me out of coming out here today.
Right.
Because I just got bit last weekend by something that I'm allergic to, and I could have let fear of getting bit by something else today.
Yeah.
So it's very like there's risk that comes with everything, and so for me, I'm like, when it comes to the car accident situation, it took me a couple weeks. I won't lie.
Yeah.
I still have that PTSD in my head where I'm sitting at a stoplight or I'm slowing down somewhere and I'll see the car behind me coming in a little too fast.
Yeah.
And I'll be ready to brace myself like, please slow down. Please look up. Please, like in the back of my mind. But I'm like, again, I done got in my car because I obviously got somewhere to go, something to do, somewhere to be, So I just think that's how I try to stay like focused on stepping outside of my comfort zone, even when I do stuff that I'm scared to do.
Yeah.
Like water slides I enjoy, but I prefer roller coasters.
Same.
And I can swim, and I don't even have any qualms about that. I can swim, but if I get on a water slide, like those ones that are closed in, I just be thinking
it
like,
gets hot and
yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
Right. And so it's one of those things that for me, I'm like, oh well, I want to get to the end.
Because the whole time I'm thinking, just breathe. Just breathe.
Right. Like, and so I talk myself through. And so I'm like, a lot more people every day, like I said, die or have some sort of catastrophic injury.
Yeah.
And I work for a law firm now, so I'm definitely seeing that too. But also, that happens in car accidents day to day, on a day where they just thought they was just going to work or just going to pick up their kids or just going to grab something to eat or something, and that happens and you never really expect it. So for me, I'm like, the number and the risk are so much lower on just getting on a roller coaster. Like, you get on a roller coaster, hundreds of like that doesn't happen every day. On roller coasters,
it is very rare occurrences that it
when
does.
things like that happen. And so I try to just really, really not let my fear consume me like that. I'm not, dumb by any means. So I know risks are involved in everything that I do and enjoy to do.
And everything. I could trip and fall down going to the car, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I get exactly what you're saying though.
Yeah,
you just got to do it.
Right, and you really just have to. You got to rationalize it in your head. Like, come on now, what you scared of for real? And that's what I tell myself. Like, I ain't no punk. Like, I ain't no punk. You could do it. Like, anything that I'll think in my head, like I'm scared to do or I don't really want to do, you can do it. It'll be okay. Like. Even when I first started sign language, I remember like the whole time I'm anxious, the whole like 10 weeks or whatever, because I know at the end we have to perform something on our own. And I was just like, and I'm over here getting anxious, and I'm like, and then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, bruh, these people are on Zoom. I'm like, I could all I have to do is look at something else.
Yeah.
All I have to do is focus. I open my screen up and I put it on me, so I'm just looking at me do my signs, not anybody else looking at me. Or wondering what they're thinking. So sometimes you really just gotta like talk yourself through it. There's, like I said, there's not many things where I was ever too scared to do, or I was like, oh, I wouldn't do it again, or oh, that scared me. Or for the most part, anything that I've been scared to do, once I did it, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah,
like I thoroughly have enjoyed it. When I went bungee jumping, I was scared to death. Like, I did it over some water, and I was just like, what if I just slap this water and like that, like it break my
Them
bones?
intrusive
Like,
thoughts, bro.
yeah, like I was scared. Not even the height factor, but it was just like when I jump, what if this cord breaks?
Yeah.
Like, and then I hit this water at this impact that's liable to mess me up. Like,
Right.
those are the things that I was thinking through, and then I was just like, I can't really worry about that right now because I didn't drove here. Or I didn't,
Already done paid for it. Yeah.
I've taken a lot of. Ooh, please don't tell me that something biting me. I've taken a lot of greater risk.
Yeah.
I think doing a lot of other things. So
I like your mindset.
Thanks.
Have you ever seen Shameless?
Yes.
Okay, so you know about Sheila
Yes.
and all her fears of going outside.
Yep, going outside.
Girl. That show was just so much.
I love Shameless for so many reasons. Oh my gosh.
I think I want to say they had about 10 seasons. I think I watched up to the 10th season and I didn't finish. But I was so overly consumed with that show. I was like, oh my gosh, like I gotta go see what Frank Gallagher is doing.
Yes, like I loved it. Frank and Sheila. Sheila really used to have me so weak.
Well,
like, she would just be like, yeah, no. She would just be like, yeah, no. Frank. It was like so crazy to me that that's who she ended up like being with, and did like.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was
show
a lot.
was really something else, but they definitely did their big one.
They did. I agree. Okay, so this is this section where we talk about cultivating mindful relationships. So, what is the importance of active listening?
Whew.
She said, "Well, okay, left field."
No, that's a real important question. I think active listening is something that's important, or the importance of it is so great that, for one, I think it's a lost art. Let me start there.
Okay.
A lot of people listen to respond, and we talk about that all the time, and everybody's like, no, I don't, but you do. And I can attest to that. I know that I've personally done it, and it happens. It's hard. It's a hard habit to work yourself out of. A lot of times we listen to people talk and we're like, oh, let me tell a little story to show them that I get it, instead of just listening to them and getting them. Like, let me just listen to this person. So when I think about active listening, the first thing I do is, when my friends come and talk to me, I just sit there and I'll just deep sigh. Like, okay, let me process everything that they said. Okay, I hear you, friend. Like, I hear you, girl. I hear you, bruh. Like, whatever that looks like. And then I've learned now, too, this is something, like I said, I'm still practicing, but I've learned now, too, before you give any feedback or any 2 cents, ask people if they want it. Like, that's a big piece of active listening. Sometimes I may call my mama and I had to tell her, like, I don't even want no feedback. I just want you to listen to me vent real quick. I just want you to listen to me be pissed off right now. Like, and sometimes that's all that they want. Sometimes that's all people want. But that also is a part of you actively listening. Sometimes people will tell you in the midst of their vent session, in the midst of their breakdown or whatever that is, they'll tell you, like, and I know what I need to do and I just don't know how to do it, or I'm overwhelmed. They don't need to hear the advice then.
Yeah.
They know exactly what needs to be done. Or maybe they're feeling overwhelmed. They don't need nobody telling them what they need to do.
Yeah.
So I think that is something that I'm learning, certainly, because I'm a yapper.
I was just gonna say, on what side are you on? Like, are you on more of the venting side, or are you more on the listening side?
No, I'm definitely more on the listening side.
Okay.
So a lot of my friends and a lot of people I talk to will be like, let me run this by you, or tell me if I'm tripping, or one of those things. Like, I tend to be on the other side of that, and I think that is because I was just listening to people, and a lot of that comes too with no judgment.
Yeah.
Just sit there and listen to people. You're not sitting here listening like, oh, I wouldn't have did that, or I could have told you so, or you could have avoided that. None of that matters in the grand scheme of things, especially for a situation that has already happened, or that has already affected somebody. Saying coulda, shoulda, woulda, what does that really do for the conversation? So I would definitely say that. I think active listening also entails just, like, I guess circling back to the same thing, but also it's just okay to be quiet.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to just be quiet and just listen. Like, I think that's a lost art too. A lot of people are just like all these men picking up microphones, and they're like, we just gonna talk about what women need to do and why black women can't keep a man, and why, and y'all just gonna keep having these conversations. And sometimes it's okay to just be quiet.
Sometimes it's tired.
Yeah. Sometimes it's okay to say, I don't know enough about this to speak about it.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes.
Oh my
sometimes
gosh.
it's okay to say that. Nobody in this world knows enough about everything to speak on every single topic. I'm not saying don't have an opinion, but like I'll be the first one to say I don't really know too much about that,
so I'm not gonna speak on
it. I don't
literally.
You know, I don't have enough information to form an opinion on that right now, or I just simply don't give a damn. You know,
and ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Because not like in a serious like aspect of it all, a lot of people don't really. All right, this is how I see the world. It's more so like we are all an entity, right? I'm you, you're me, but we're nobody at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So in that retrospect, sometimes I just need a person there to, like you said, to vent to, but I'm really talking to myself because sometimes people may feel alone and they don't actually want to physically be alone. They want to be like, okay, I see somebody, so I know I'm not by myself.
Right.
And I don't think a lot of people really understand that. Now, what I tell my friends is, because we done fell out on occasions where, you know, you come to me for advice. That's always been my role in most of my friendships.
Yeah.
If you did not tell me that you wanted to vent and you know what kind of friend I am, all right, don't come to me.
Yeah.
And unless you tell me like, hey, I don't want this type of da 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 da. I don't want no feedback. I just want to be heard. Cool.
Yeah.
But if you don't tell me that, I'll bet, baby.
I'm gonna assume like, why you do that? Yeah, or what happened there?
What you was thinking now?
Yeah.
Because that's, I'm concerned, and I take like more of a motherly role with my friends.
Yeah.
And like that's like they literally call me mama. So I'm like, don't come to me with stuff like that because I get really protective over you. So I don't want to see you hurt. And you know what I'm saying? So where my opinion is coming in at, you may see it as me judging you, but if people know me, they know I'm not judging.
Yeah, no judgment.
Like it is what it is. People make mistakes. People do different things. People look at stuff different ways. And I'm like, perspective is one of the most beautiful things to me. So I'm like, just because you think differently than me or you go about it a different way, it doesn't make you wrong. It doesn't make me right. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But
that's definitely, and that's why I start like, that's why you ask. Like I got to that point because then I started to become that friend where it's like she always got something to say, or if it's something that I wouldn't do, or something I wouldn't say, or whatever the case may be, so a way I wouldn't move, then it's like judgment. No, let's be clear. So let me figure out what it is you need from me before I even say anything.
Exactly.
And so that's what I just got into the habit of doing. Like when my friends call me, my friend might call me breaking down, and I just be like, okay, so what is it that you want from me? Do you want me to help you come up with a solution? Do you want me to just be a listening ear? What is it that you want from me?
Are you gonna take the advice I give you, or you just want to hear me talk?
Yeah, like, you know, what is it that you need from me here in that moment? Which I think is a two-way street too, because when I do call somebody or something, I will let them know.
Yes.
I just need you to listen to me real quick. Or hold on, friend, like I'm going through it. I'm having a rough day and I'm just feeling real shitty. Let me talk to you about this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I already know what I need to do, and I already know that I need to do X, Y, and Z, but I'm overwhelmed right now, and I just need to let that out. I need to tell somebody that I'm feeling overwhelmed right now and kind of let everybody know what's on my plate.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So I got into the habit, too, of just being that friend that also just lays it out there. Because most of the time, I'm not looking for no feedback. Most of the time, I already know what to do. I have tough conversations with myself. Yeah. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, ain't nobody really gonna tell me nothing that I didn't know myself. Like when it, you know, that I shouldn't have let somebody keep doing this to me or treat me this way, or do, you know, like even when it comes to like hello, you know, like stuff like that. Like I don't need to call my friends for them to be like, you deserve better. I know. Like, you know, it's something. I'm gonna
keep being stupid 2 or 3 more times. I know.
Till I'm done. I'll know when I'm done. I'm done. But right now I'm not, and it is what it is, and I have to, you know, deal with what comes with that. But
speaking on that, like sometimes you can't even tell them. Like, I was stupid and I went back. Cause like in the back of my mind, I'm like, they don't need to know this because at this time, I know I'm being dumb. And I don't want them to be like Taisha, and I be like, bruh,
nothing to me. Yeah,
I don't need none of that. So sometimes I don't even say nothing. I just be like, even today, I text my friend. I was like, just send me some encouraging words, bruh. Like I need it, you know. Like she don't know what's going on, but you know that I'm in need of help. I need something positive right now.
Something that will help. Yeah.
You spoke on the lost art of conversation. Now, are you talking about new gen coming up?
I think it's all of us, to be honest. I think that even when these debates about men versus women, and it's not a versus. We need them, they
We're
need us.
complementary,
Yeah,
right?
like
Okay.
we need us. We need us. We need them, they need us.
Literally.
Like, and that is what is very clear to me. But it's like everybody's like, oh, the grass is greener somewhere else, and if one nigga won't do it, another nigga will. Like, and that is so exhaustive to just be thinking that you just gonna find. I'm not saying deal with whatever, by any means, but I'm also saying that ain't nothing worth having easy. And so there's gonna be those trials and tribulations, but if you find your person, keep your person, because it's not shit out here. Like,
and it's hard because
it's hard.
Everybody's like a mix of different things, because this person might have 3 out of the 10, or this person might have 7 out of 10, you know, but it from person to person it will vary, and you never know what you really gonna get, because let's be real, everybody be putting on a front
in the beginning,
because it's like, come to me, I want you to pick me. And it's like, and not even technically being a pick me girl or whatever, but it's like, I want to put my best foot forward, so you know, like, I'm the girl for you. But in doing that and not showing like your authentic self, it's like a trap in a slick way. But men do it too
all the time.
So
yeah, it happens both ways. It's just like, I mean, I think there's a lost art in conversation, because now, and I'll say this as far as women that are out here like, he gonna have to pay me this or buy me this for us to have some
in this economy is crazy, first of all.
For us to, and I'm just like, please get a fucking grip. Like, come on now. Like, I'm not trying to waste nobody's time, and you're not even, like, who's doing that?
I look at it like this. If you cannot do it for yourself, do not expect anybody else to do it for you, because, like, it's hard.
It's hard out here. Not to mention, you can, sometimes that guy that you go out and talk to and y'all just go for a walk and talk, that might be the one that's the love of your life.
You feel me?
And you over here like, he got to buy me a Birkin.
And why you stressing this man out? Like, he's like, how am I going to do this?
Like, and that's why I'm like, y'all, a lot of women, and I will say men too, so just people in general, a lot of people come with their hand out already looking and expecting something, and I think that's the issue.
What do they call them? Opportunists and users.
Yes, that you're expecting, and I'm not saying don't date people and date intentionally. Date and go and say, I expect you to be respectful. I respect communication. I expect conversation. I expect, basic things in the beginning, but y'all, they be coming in like, oh yeah, I expect you to be ready to do X, Y, and Z by the third date, and then I expect you to be ready to buy me this and pay my bills by the third day. Like, bye, because you walking into it already, and you already got your hands out, and you don't even know this person. This person don't even know you.
You don't know none of their struggles, none of their trauma. Like, you have to get to know a person, because sometimes, even if this person don't got it, they gonna do everything to make sure that you get it, because of the type of person you are. But if you come out like, oh, you're not good enough, you're not da-da-da, and then it's like, what?
And it's like, that's how you, and ain't nobody interested in that. That's how you weed people out to me. Don't come over here asking me for nothing, because I ain't got it. Yeah, don't come over here asking me for nothing. That's what I'm saying. Like, because I'm not asking you for nothing, So in my head, I'm like, we're going to come over here, we're going to enjoy each other's time, we're going to date, and then we'll go from there. I'm not saying eventually, you're going to have to buy me gifts. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to do things for me when we get there. But, like, I'm not coming into nobody that, because you want to take me out, now you got to. Bye. I don't even like people enough to be going through all of that.
Girl.
Like,
it's so stressful.
Child, I'll go by myself before I gotta worry about if a man gonna show up and buy me and do X, Y, and Z. If I want some flowers, I can go to the store and get them myself.
And be like, oh wow, I did such a great job.
Yeah, like, I just think that's something that we're losing, and I think between the music, social media, it's a whole lot of factors that are that have to do with why everybody's just like, oh well, if somebody won't, another one will.
But it's not guaranteed.
It's not, and it's not that that's necessarily a bad mindset to have, but there has to be some sort of, like, are you just trying with these people, or are you just walking in here trying to see what you can get out of these people, and then it's like, oh, if I don't get it fast enough, somebody else gonna give it to me. You sound like a toddler. Like, oh, my daddy don't give it to my mama will. Exactly. That's what children do. Okay, I'm going to ask this one adult for some of their juice. If she say no, I'm going to go ask the other one and see if I can get some juice from them. Yeah. That's what children do. Like, we're grown.
But I like how you said, like, express your baseline. Like, oh, I expect you to be respectful. Now, you're not giving him the whole thing like, oh, respect is shown like X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You let him express what that means to him, to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes people overplay their game and be like, well, I need a man that's going to be like, da 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 da. And you just like, you're literally building a nigga right now and you're not even realizing because he's going to put an act. Until he gets you, and then he gonna treat you like a lame,
and he gonna be somebody else. That's why you just that's why I said that's a way for me to weed people out. What's that? People always say like, I'm gonna let them do what they want to do so I can see what they rather do.
Ooh.
And that is something that like that's literally what you do. The man that wants you, he's gonna come around and he's gonna do all the things that you wouldn't even have to ask for because that's
what he want to do.
Yeah, because that's what he want to do. Like you're not gonna have to ask for it. That's what he would rather do is take care of me, take me out, treat me good. And so that's what he's going to do. I'm not going to have to complain. I'm not going to have to post quotes. I'm not going to have to.
Subliminals.
Yeah, like I'm not going to have to do none of that for the man or the person. You know that's for me. So
yeah.
I think that's definitely like let people show you what they're going to be. If you meet some man somewhere and then he just want to text you, and then the first invite you get is to his house at 1 a.m, or y'all get to drinking and the first invite you get is to come over at night and y'all ain't been on no date,
right.
He ain't took you nowhere. That's how you weed them out.
Yeah, but you got to also have standard for yourself and see what you want to do. Because if you just want to have a good time, by all means, go have a good time.
Have a good time.
But if you are looking for more, and maybe be like, nah, I see. Maybe we can go for a walk in the morning.
Yep. And that's how you change it. If you don't hear from him no more, and he like, oh nah, or he invites you again, but it's another late night call, or let's do this. Then you know, and you and you determine how to move forward. I'm very big on. I don't do dates to the movies for a first date.
Yeah.
And
I hate when, oh, you come over, we can do this first. No, because if I come over, then you're going to be, oh, well, I ain't got Netflix. I ain't got this. I ain't got that. But
exactly. I don't do that. I don't do movie dates. I'm very clear. Like, if this is a first date and I don't really know you and you don't really know me and we're trying to get to know each other, how the hell are we going to do that in a movie theater where we got to be quiet for 2 hours?
Exactly.
So what are we doing? What are we going to the movies for? That's a date where, okay, we've been talking, we may have been hanging out. Okay, maybe let's do dinner and then the movies. Yeah, like something like that. But for no first date, that's no, you know, I mean, now they got like these movies where you can eat and stuff in them and things. So that's a little different. But it's like for the most part, that's not what I want.
Yeah, I still don't know you.
Right, I still don't know you. I want to get to know somebody. You know, like if this is a first date and we're enjoying each other, why would we be going to the movies? Like we can't talk in there.
Valid.
So when the movie's over, you gonna walk me to my car and that's the date. So on the whole date, we talked for probably about 15 minutes total.
I got in the car.
Like, yeah, so
stood in line.
Right, so that's one of those things that's just, it's about your boundaries, it's about what you want, and then again the conversation piece is communicate. I'm very big on people don't know unless you say it.
Yeah,
like
you definitely got to vocalize it.
Yeah, like you have to say whatever your boundaries are, whatever that is for you. That's one thing I will say that I am. I don't force nobody to deal with me. You don't have to deal with nothing that comes with me.
So we can stop talking today.
Right, like I tell everybody that I date or talk to, I'm an outgoing person. You know, like I like to have fun. I like to do things. I'm not gonna be that person that because you didn't want to go out, I'm not gonna go out. Or you know, like girl, I'm
you
not
ain't
that.
Gotta tell me.
Yeah, like I'm not that person. I'm never
you don't
want to
go.
Person.
I hit you when I get back.
Exactly. Like, I'll see you when I get back. Like,
I'll let you know I made it home.
Right, and that's that time where it comes to communication. I'm letting you know who I am. Like
I'm not gonna be stuck in the house every single weekend just because you scared of people seeing me. Right. Chill out.
Or you don't want me out late or doing X, Y, and Z. Baby, I'm young and turned. Okay, like
we in our 20s. Like, come on,
here
bro.
To have a good time. Like if I'm a sleepy girl. Don't get me wrong. I love my bed. But every now and then, if I want to be out till 2, 3 in the morning, I have every right to do so, and I'm gonna have a blast while doing it. Like I'm not gonna let nobody, and that's one of them things you gotta communicate, because you know niggas now be like, oh, I want a homebody and my girl can't be out doing X, Y, and Z. Boy, please, like, please.
So what I really want to know is, how was your journey into finding yourself and like your personal growth? Did you have a spiritual awakening? Like how did that come into like premonition for you?
So I would say I'm one of those girls that you think of that I have a personal rebrand every couple months. Like, if it's up to me, like, I'll be like, okay, about 6 months, I'm about to change all this. I'm about to just decide that I want to kind of do this a little different, or I want to do this some more.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like, even me on my gym journey now, like, I hate going to the gym. I go because I need to go.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't be excited. Like, and I tell people that all the time. I'm not going to lie to nobody. I do not like going. I like how I feel when I leave.
Yeah.
But I don't like going. So I just think ultimately what led me here, I guess, is just learning along the way. Honestly, like, when I was in school, I think I learned so much about myself in those 4 years. Like, I went to school and I'm first gen, so nobody in my family really knew too much about a college experience,
Okay.
you know, and what that really looks like. So I think that was something that I had to learn from, like, okay, shoot, I'm out here by myself. Not only I got a job before I even started school, so not only am I about to work, but I also got full load of classes. I'm living by myself, like, I'm doing all these things, and I'm kind of navigating it on my own. I know my parents are there, but they hands off. You know, they're like, if you need me, call me, but we not hovering. We're not, you know, like, you got
this
stuff
is your
to
experience.
do. Yeah, you know,
right.
And so I think that definitely had a lot to do with it. My parents have always encouraged me to be independent. I was that kid that they, you know,
didn't have to worry about.
Didn't have to worry about. They, when I was young, they had me. I started making, like, as soon as I could talk, they taught me how to talk to people. Like, you know, start making your own doctor's appointments. Start, you know, these, you know, just small things like that, socializing me and things like that in a way where I can communicate and I can have mature conversations. That's what I had always gotten, or still get. A lot of people think I'm older than I am, and it's just, those are things that develop me into who I am. I think I will also say a lot of my self growth just came from doing a lot of reflection.
Okay.
I am someone who, a lot of people, and this is not to take the blame from how other people treat you or the cards that you're dealt, but for me, a lot of times when I may have been in a relationship where I dealt with something that was far beyond something I know I should have dealt with, or that was so beneath me, I'm only mad at myself.
Right.
Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, he should have done, or she, because
he
they could have,
me.
or he, you know, I could place the blame there, but at the same time, if we're talking about more than one experience, that's my fault,
right?
Because I continue to allow somebody to do so, and I think that comes with a lot of understanding and just being okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with saying that to myself, like, girl, you dealt with a lot of BS that you ain't have to deal with, and that was your fault. Like, I can say that to myself. I can say, like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I stayed with some of them a little too long. Like,
they overextended. They welcome.
Yeah,
they
like,
free trial has
exactly.
ended.
So I think that that having those real conversations is big. I think my friends, huge part of my self growth. I think that, as I talked about earlier, they believe in me. My friends pour into me amazingly. They show up for my nonprofit. They there to support me through law school or law firm, whatever it is that I'm going through. I went through a period right after graduation, actually, where I was, like, in a really, really bad place as far as depression, and I think that molded me into, like, who I've become today, because I was so gung-ho, like, oh, okay, I got my degree, I'm gonna get a job in my field and it's gonna go from there, and I couldn't get one.
Right.
Like, I was still doing all these odd jobs, and I was just like, I done suffered through school and it didn't whoop my ass, and now here I am and I'm not using my degree.
Right.
I'm nannying, and I love kids, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't what I went to school for. And I was in a place of not working or doing anything that I wanted to do, and I think it just really taught me that you stay focused.
Yeah.
You stay focused on the goal. I ended up getting a job, which I interned. It really didn't necessarily have anything to do with my degree, but I loved it and I learned so much. And those coworkers are now family. Like, you know, and we hang out together outside of me not even working there anymore. And the bonds that I built with other people, like, it's a beautiful thing. How life works in that way. I think for me, I guess in addition to that, my self growth would probably also be me just, I have a lot of examples, whether that's Instagram or family or friendships or whatever, of things that I don't want to be, or places I don't want to go, and that works for me, you know, like being like, I'm not, you know, to share, I guess, this like tidbit that's a little personal or whatever for me, is my grandmother was previously an addict. And because of how close I am to my mom, and I know what that did for her and their relationship and what that looks like, and I've seen that from my grandmother. I, a lot of people are willing to try things and try drugs and pop, and that's something that genuinely is a fear for me, because I know what addiction does. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have addiction runs on both sides of my family, so my fear is ever hurting my family because of an addiction, because it's a sickness. So I also recognize that. And so I just think that that's something that definitely has molded me into being disciplined, especially because it's easy out here to be like, oh yeah, somebody doing shrooms, or oh, somebody tried it. Yeah, let me try. Like, it's hard to be around that or be in an environment like that, and then you got to be the friend where it's like, no, I don't, like,
that
I'm not
interested.
I'm not
you don't
interested
even know
in
what you're
that.
saying. Like, not in that way, but like, because I was literally just having this conversation, and even with that concert the other day, I was telling my friend, I'm like, there's things I'm not going to do. And I know, like, some people may look at me like, you don't drink? You don't smoke? You don't pop pills? And I'm like, nah, I really be turned off my own self, because I'm like, I don't need those things. And just like you, I have addicts in my family as well. So it's like seeing them suffer the way they did with addiction and not having enough self-control, that is a fear of mine. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't want to get to that point where I just lose my stuff. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I do try to stay away from it as much as possible. Like, yeah, sometimes I might have a drink, but that's it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I drink, and I'm not, to whoever do what they do. You know what I'm saying? We only live this life once. All I say is to always be safe. But it is just for me that there's some things like that I know that I've grown, and that has shaped me into who I am. It's just kind of standing on those things. And I always tell people, like, you have to have your own code.
Yes.
Whatever that is. And you have to stand firm in it. Everybody that talks to me always be like, Naya, I love your boundaries. Ain't nobody talking me in or out of shit.
That's what I'm talking
like that
about.
That's just one, like,
peer pressure.
Yeah, like that's one of those things that don't exist for me, because if I said no, it's not happening. If I said yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, and you're not gonna stop me. So it's like, it's one of those things that it goes both ways. And I tell everybody, like, have your own code, or you're literally liable to fall for or do anything in this world. You're gonna adopt somebody else's code. You're gonna be breaking all kind of principles. You're gonna be doing stuff to yourself that you don't even realize it is damaging you, because you don't have your own code to stick by. Like, there are certain things I'm not doing. I'm not messing with nobody who married and things like that. I'm not, like, just certain codes that's just like, no, I don't draw. You have to draw a line somewhere.
Because if you don't, boy, you're going to be doing a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything, exactly. Like, if you don't stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. Yeah. And so I'm big on that too. Like, have your boundaries, bruh, and stand on them. Like,
and if you don't have them, just do a little bit at a time until you feel strong enough to build more if you need to. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of people, that's another thing that people get scared of. Like, oh, if my walls are too high, I'm going to block everything out, or I'm not going to have no friends. But you got to be your friend first. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be your friend first. Exactly. Like, if people going to leave you because you don't do this or you don't do that, then child, let them go. Like, I will never forget that. And I lost some really close friends that I had all through grade school. As soon as we left high school, and it ultimately ended up being like, I ended up getting texts later that was just kind of like, no, you was judgmental and da-da-da. And I was like, no, I wasn't judgmental, but I didn't smoke. And so I couldn't go out with y'all smoking in high school and come home smelling like that.
Right, because my parents going to ask.
Yeah, like, I couldn't take those kind of risks. That don't make me judgmental, so stop inviting me if that's all y'all doing. If we could do something else, cool, invite me. Like, I had a car, I was able to do things, but no. If the plan is going to be, oh, we're going to hotbox the car, and that's the plan for the night, and then just, I don't smoke, and I can't do that anyway. Even if I wanted to just hang out with y'all, I can't go home smelling like that. Like, so it's just small things like that. And sometimes you lose friends. Sometimes that's what it boils down to. And that's okay.
It's so many people in the world. Like you said earlier, don't be afraid to meet new people and do new things, because
exactly.
That's what we're here to do.
That's exactly what we're here to do. And it's ultimately like, as someone, I drink and I smoke, but nobody around me is ever gonna feel like for one, that I have to do those things, or two, that they have to.
Right.
Like,
you make people feel safe.
Yeah.
I get. That's what I get from you. Like,
yeah.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, definitely. Like, there's nobody's gonna ever feel forced to do anything around me because, like I said, I'm a loner at heart.
Yeah.
You know, like, no, I don't have to get drunk or I don't have to drink, or smoke or anything. But if I want to have a drink when I go out, I'm not gonna make the person sit next to me that's like, oh, I don't drink. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing that to nobody. Like, you should make that decision and you should stand on your boundary, because if I didn't, I wouldn't.
Because I have this crazy. Now, back in college, everybody knew I didn't smoke, I didn't drink, and like at all, because like, you know, them wine coolers, what is it called? Seagulls? No, it's
Seagrams.
Okay.
Yeah. Seagrams. Close.
I drunk to the top of the paper and threw up. Okay.
Yeah.
So as you can tell, I was not, that wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
So everybody would be like, oh, well, can you drive us here? And can you do this? And can you do that?
Then you became the DD, yeah.
And I'm like, no.
Yeah. Like, no.
Like, because when I come here with y'all, all y'all gonna do is drink, act sloppy, and then I gotta be responsible for y'all because I care about y'all.
Right.
But if I don't go, I don't know. So we not doing it. You're not finna use me.
Yeah.
And that I was big on that. I was like, now if I can have fun with y'all without y'all getting out of control, because y'all can drink around me, y'all can smoke around me, that's fine. But let's not get out of hand.
Yeah, like, and that's the big thing. Don't place that on me either.
Yeah.
Like, as my friend, don't put that on me.
Don't get blackout drunk when you passing out and I don't know what to do.
Well, it's cool because my friend don't drink, so I'm gonna be good regardless. Don't do me like that. No. So definitely had them boundaries. I'm telling you, even when like I drink, and people will think because of how I drink when I do drink that I drink all the time, and I be like, I really like my mom. It's so funny. I tell her all the time. I was like, Mommy, I'm really a social drinker. Like when I'm at home, I don't just pour up a drink or make drinks at home. Like that's just not a part of my like day to day. I'm like, I drink when I'm with my friends and we get together and we're like, we're gonna drink tonight or we're gonna have a drink tonight.
Yeah.
I was like, I go out to eat most of the time and I don't order no drink. I go
drink
like
water.
Yeah, like I'm just like it's. I think in the culture now, everybody want to be like, oh, let's get drunk and go do this, or let's get high.
Like, why do you have to?
Why you gotta be under the influence to do every damn thing?
Like you can't have fun regular. I don't know.
And a lot of people can't. And instead of going to see a therapist, which is what they
like,
need.
do you have social anxiety?
Right.
Like, what's wrong?
That's exactly what they have. I have social anxiety, so I'm going to be under the influence so that I'll talk to people when I go out, and so that I won't feel so nervous. And instead of, again, going to see a therapist, a licensed professional, about that problem, you're instead just gonna fight it, and then and then that's how it manifests into an addiction. Now you can't leave the house without smoking. Now you can't eat without smoking. Child, I would rather
And this literally wraps around back to, and this is why we need the art of conversation to get back. We need social skills. We need those things to be taught because these people are getting out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if you can not smoke or drink or whatever you doing and still be cool, I'm cool too.
Mm-hmm.
But don't act the fool and don't embarrass me because I'm not with it.
Yep, that's what I was about to say. I didn't start smoking until college.
Yeah.
And even then it was a very social thing. Like the guy I was dating at the time did, so it would be like with him. Outside of that, it never happened. I didn't get to where I did like on my own probably here until the last few years. But even then, I always like, anytime I ever felt my tolerance getting up to where, I feel like I gotta smoke before I eat. Oh, baby, I'm finna put that down. Because it's time for me to ease up, because it's easy to do that, and a lot of people don't mind that, but I mind. I need to be able to eat at all times of the day. Like, I'm not about to play with y'all and
I need my meal.
Yeah, like, no, if I'm hungry, because it really is like, you'll be hungry and you'll go to eat and then it'll be like, I can't even finish this right. Let me take a step back from, and that's, again, having them conversations with yourself and having the discipline to be like, okay, let me take a break from smoking or whatever, because I'm messing with my appetite now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, this is out the norm. I don't like it.
I don't like this. I don't like how I'm feeling. Yeah, like, let me reel it back in. Let me, so I just think that, like, my friends talk about me all the time. When it's time to take shots, I'm a punk. Like, I used to be able to throw them back in college, but y'all know now, we got to sip them things. Like, I can't do it. Like, I be telling them I can't do it no more. Like, I can't. Like, I'm cool, we can drink, but I got to slip slow, like, these days. And I'm like, so, and boundaries, and I was like, y'all can say what y'all want about me.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm not going to do what I don't want to do.
Right.
Now, okay, so obviously we have come to the end.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything else you want to add before we?
I think we've been talking.
I know.
So I'm like, I feel like I said a lot. I guess just bringing it back to living in the moment. To make it a conscious thing. Don't say I want to live in the moment and then the thought just stays there. Like, and it just be like, yeah, I want to be adventurous, and then that just floats away. Make an effort to be that. And then, like I said, I need to make an effort to be a little bit more structured.
And I need to let go some of my planning ways. Like, just a little bit, just relax a little bit. Maybe I ain't got to break it all down. Just have a little outline, a little skeleton.
Yeah, it's a good balance.
Yeah.
So I think that that's something that I would definitely take from this, but also just saying to enjoy and live this life, because we only got one. And like I said, it's real. Like, with everything that's going on in the world right now, if you anything like me and you're an empath and you feel what people feel and you feel what people go through and you hear a sad story and you're crying on TikTok, like, if you're anything like me, I am that person. So it's real easy to get overwhelmed and feel helpless and feel like I can't put my cape on and save everybody. So try to enjoy this life as best you can, because we only get one. I think that's pretty much it, though.
Okay. Well, honestly, I really did enjoy this conversation. It was so beautiful just seeing your perspective and having you come out here and chat it up with me a little bit. Where can the people find you?
Yes, so you can follow me on Instagram at Anaya Renee _ and then it is also the same on Twitter, Anaya Renee, 2 underscores on Twitter. And then I'm on TikTok, but you just send me videos on there. I don't really make none.
So yeah, there you guys have it. This was Anaya. I'm Taisha, and we promise we won't bite our tongue. We'll see you next time. Bye.